All right, guys. So we're going to start on question 8. We finished up question 7 yesterday. Technically, I did ask you guys to finish this up. Some of you guys did, some of you guys didn't. We're gonna go fairly quickly on this. And you're gonna be like, wait, why are we going so quickly? Because we should have covered it already. So honestly, I don't think I'm gonna do my presentation. I think I just wanna do it this way. So pay attention to what it says here in the purples. It lets me know I need the correct y-intercept. And then I need to tell myself or like have the shape if it's increasing or decreasing. So we don't actually have to go full blown into figuring out each and every step. We just have to have the right direction. So when we're looking at our exponential function looks like this: a parentheses b to the x, where what the a is our y-intercept and b is our pattern. Okay. Let me do that, and then let me do. So looking at that, we can look at this equation and notice I'm missing something here in the front. I'm missing that 1. It should be in parentheses. Let me zoom in. All right. So we're missing that 1. That lets us know that we should have a dot right here at 1. So thumbs up. Does everyone understand where that 1's coming from? Again, it's going to be invisible. And then that's where our y-intercept is going to be. 99% of the time, at least here in math 1, we're going to be dealing with our y-intercept as 1 when it comes to exponential functions. What does this 4 mean? It means that my pattern is multiplying by 4. So since we're multiplying by 4, that means my numbers are increasing from small to big. So when we're drawing our line, all we really need to do is show this. If it's a whole number, we need to show that it's curving. It goes through that 1, and that's it. If you want, and I'll do this in a purple color, instead, you can find the pattern and do, well, 1 times 4 would give me 4. Oh, see, I was almost there. My equation should have gone this way. And then it would have been like way up here at 4 times 2 is 8. No, 4 times 4 would be 16. It would be way out here. So you could have just done a normal increasing line in purple and the pink, or you could have done what's in purple and done the almost identical, only figured out that this is a point right here as well. Let me find. Hey, Sebastian, we are finishing up the assignment from yesterday. And then don't forget to give me your birthday in the chat. So thank you. So make sure that you guys are typing. And what is our y-intercept? Our y-intercept is where we're going to cross the y-axis. And something that you guys can do is we can just go down the y-axis until it hits that line and go, ah, that's the number that I need. So I'm going to type in a 1. Again, 99% of the time, our y-intercept is always going to be at 1. Again, here in math 1. Here's a hint for you guys. Notice there's no box. This is asking, does it ever cross the x-axis? So if I grab my highlighter again, I'm gonna change it to a different color. Let's go red. And I look, it never touched that y-axis, that x-axis. So what I'm going to type right here, or you can draw it, but I would prefer you guys to type it. And I'm gonna do that in that purple color. I'm gonna type in none. There is no number, there's never a time where this line is going to cross. It's gonna get close to it. Remember, we learned about that. And again, it's one of those, you just need to memorize that. For math one, we're not gonna be touching that x-axis. We're just going to say that there's no x-axis or x-intercept. So thumbs up, again, that's one of those, I just need to memorize that. That's an answer that's going to be the same on your test, on your quiz, on any of your stuff. It is something, again, that you need to memorize. Another thing that you guys need to memorize is the domain and range. Domain, here we were told everything's all real numbers because a line crossing this way, it's always going to touch. Crossing up and down, it's always going to touch. Here, for our x's, we're always going to have a number. So this right here should be all reals. All real numbers. However, the range is not going to be all real numbers because if I look here, I cross, but at 0, I don't cross anything. At these negatives, I don't cross anything. So since I don't cross anything, the way that we write that one, write the range, is going to be y is greater than 0. That's how we're going to write. Remember, if you guys ever, when we didn't do inequalities, but you should have done it in the past. Hey, Emmanuel, can you put your birthday in the chat, please? And then we are working on this activity. Let me put it into chat. We're working on that. But if you can give me your birthday, I'd greatly appreciate that. But when you remember from last year, when we're talking about the Pac-Man or the alligator, I don't know which one you guys used. It ate the bigger number. So we're going to make sure that it's eating the Y versus eating the 0. Also, if you hold off, thank you, Manuel. If you hold your hand, it should look like the same image of your hands. Like if you hold up your hand like this, if it looks like this, like your left hand, then that means that you guys picked the wrong one. And yes, it does matter which one you guys are picking. So make sure that you guys are doing that. So any questions on that? Give me a thumbs up. Again, these 3 answers, it's just memorizing it. So you're just gonna have to memorize. But can you guys use this on your test? Yeah, totally. And then tell me, is it increasing or decreasing? Well, even without looking at the graph, you should be able to tell. This is a ×4 equation. So obviously multiplying means to get our numbers bigger. So it would be an increase. And then let me zoom out for those of you guys who didn't get a chance to copy down this one yesterday. Make sure to watch the video. Where do you guys watch the video? Here in the agenda. You guys can click on that. It's always going to be there. Today is Friday, so this video that you guys that's being recorded will be here on Friday. Or you guys can always just subscribe to my YouTube channel and then it'll automatically like notify you if I put when things are posted. All right, give me a thumbs up if we're good to move on. Clap if you guys need more time. All right, I don't see any claps, so we're going to move on. So we are going to zoom into this. And I'm going to teach you guys a trick on this because a lot of you guys probably are looking at this and going, oh my God, this is so much work. And it honestly isn't. It is actually very easy and you should be able to finish this, especially if you guys are using your calculator. And if you don't have a calculator, then you guys can always use, Google and type in calculator and it'll give you a calculator here. So what I want to see from work, I can fill in all of my work right here in this little corner. And that will give me all the workspace that I need, that I, as your teacher, need to see from you guys. So what do I want to see from you guys? All you guys have to do is plug in the 0. And from the 0, you guys should be able to do all of your work. So I have 2 to the 0 power. Any number to the 0 power is always going to give me a 1. Times that by 2, and my answer is 2. So this is the only one that I'm going to show work for this whole row. From here, the trick is to look at this number right here. And that lets me know what my pattern is going to be. This is exponential, and this is a whole number. So I know I'm going to have a multiplication pattern. What am I multiplying? I'm multiplying by 2. For the range, it's going to be 0. So if I look,
Always?
yeah, at least for math 1, yes. You only change it if we're shifting it up and down, but we're not doing that in math 1, other than the only time you ever shift it is in this question right here. But that's just, saying that it moved and that's it. So yeah, this will, like these 2 answers, or these 3 answers are always going to be the same. These 2 answers are always going to be the same for my class, for math 1. Next year, you guys might go you guys will go into more in depth on linear versus exponential, but for this class, it'll just be these answers right here. And can you guys hear me? Okay. My headphones went all crazy on me. All right. So here's that pattern that I was telling you guys. All we have to do is find that first one. And from the first one, we can use the pattern to do all the other ones. So what's 2 times 2? Oops, I need 4. What 4 times 2? 4 times 2 is 8. What's 8 times 2? 16. And 16 times 2? 32. Notice I didn't have to do any work other than this very first one to find that first number. From there, I just have to use that pattern to keep going. And then from here, I can add them up. 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 16 plus 32 gives me 62. So my total for the week, 62. Here, again, I'm going to do the work for just that first one. So I'm going to plug in that 0 in for my t. I have 9 times 0 plus 2. 9 times 0 is 0 plus 2 gives me 2. So I'm going to type a 2 right there. From here, I look at my equation and I try and figure out what the pattern is going to be. I see that the t is the same size as the 9, which lets me know this is not exponential, this is linear, which lets me know that I either have a plus or minus pattern. The pattern is based off of my slope, which is the 9. And since 9 is positive, then that means I should be adding 9 each time. If it was negative, then I would be subtracting 9 each time. So thumbs up, we understand that. Whatever the slope is, the number in front of our variable, if it's positive, it's going to be plus. If it's negative, we're subtracting. So from here, figure that out. 9 plus 11. But 9 plus 11, I gave you the answer. 9 plus 2 is 11. 11 plus 9, 20. 20 plus 9, 29. And 29 plus 9 is 38. Again, no work except for that 0 needs to be done. If you guys want to do all of that work, by all means, you guys can. You can either use the space on the bottom or you guys can use a separate sheet of paper to do the work. This, however, I do want to see this work. This has to automatically be here, or else I will take away one of these points. So I do want to see just the work for 0. So let's add these up. So I have 2 plus 11 plus 20 plus 29 plus 38 gives me 100. So how do we feel about that one? Thumbs up, we feel good. Clap, I lost you. Awesome, okay. Let's see about this one. Can anyone let me know what pattern I'm going to have for that one? As I figure out what 3 to the 0 is. What's my pattern going to be? My answer is 1, yes. But what's my pattern? What am I going to be doing to each one of these? Yeah. So someone already put it in chat. A couple of you guys. We are multiplying. Why are we multiplying? Because we see it's an exponential and we see it's a whole number. Since it's a whole number, we know that we're multiplying. What are we multiplying by? That base number that's connected to the exponent, which is 3. So from here, again, I did that little tiny bit of work. And from here, we can figure out the rest. So 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3, 27. 27 times 3, 81. And then we can add it all up. So 1 plus 3 plus 9 plus 27 plus 81 equals 121. Okay. All right. Try and figure out what pattern I'm going to use for that last one. So let's do pink. I'm gonna plug that T0 into T. What pattern am I going to use? Any number to the 0 is going, oops, I forgot that 0. is going to give me 1, even though it's a fraction. And 60 times 1 is going to be 60. So again, all of this work, that's the only work I want to see from you guys that I absolutely need. Everything else, it's just going to be extra if you guys want. So I'm going to have 60. So this one, a lot of you guys still get really confused. Remember, this is exponential, and we have a fraction as our pattern. Since we have a fraction, we are dividing. Why are we dividing? Well, look at this. This is a whole number we multiplied. So since we have a fraction, we're going to divide. What are we dividing by? This number down here at the bottom. So we're going to divide by 2. If this was 1/3, then we would divide by 3. If it was 1/5, then we would divide by 5. So whatever the number is down here from your fraction, that's what you're going to divide by. I am not going to be that mean. We are going to be using 1/2 if we use a fraction. We're not doing anything else other than that if you guys actually have to solve it like this. So you'll only have to deal with fractions. So 60 divided by 2. 60 divided by 2 is 30. 30 divided by 2. 30 divided by 2 is 15. 15 divided by 2. This one's going to give you a decimal. Now, I want you guys, technically, it allows you guys to do 7.5. What I want to see, though, is 7.50. So make sure that you add that 0 because we are talking about money. So we do need that second decimal space. In our next test, our chapter test 2, we're going to unfortunately have a third number, and that's because our number here is odd instead of even. Or it's a 70 versus 60. So it's going to give us 3 digits. It's fine. I'm just letting you guys know. I just don't want to round, but let's add that 0 here. And then let's divide this one more time. 7.5 divided by 2. And if you guys don't believe me, let's do this in the calculator. 7.5 divided by 2 equals 3.75. 3.75. Add these numbers up. 3.75 plus 7.5 plus 15 plus 30 plus 60. 116.25. 116.25. And there you go. So give me a thumbs up once you guys are done with that whole table. Give me a clap if you guys need more time. All right. I am going to pull up this because it's going to help us out in a second. So let's go over the questions. The first question says, which employee gets paid the most on Monday? So the one that gets paid the most on Monday. So we look at Monday. And we notice 60 by far, because this is 2, 2, and 1. 60 by far is the one that's going to be. So the sentence that you guys should use is the employee that gets paid the most on Monday is Zulema. Zulema earns $60 on Monday. And I would like you guys to use this sentence frame or something like it. So you don't have to say it word for word, but you do have to have 2 different sentences. And notice you guys are getting half of a point for each part of the equation. So a total of 1. So you're going to get 1 point for telling me that it was Zulema, and 1 point for telling me, or half a point for Zulema, and half a point for telling me that it was 60. So you guys should be typing that up right here. Give me a thumbs up once you guys are ready. Clap if you guys need more time. Okay. So the next question, B, says which employee pay increase at a constant rate? Constant rate means that I should be either adding or subtracting by something. And then explain how you know. So can anyone let me know which one of these equations uses an adding or subtracting pattern? Starts with a J, but it's not Hiram. It's Jessica. So if we look at our patterns, this was a multiply by 2 pattern. This was a 3. This was divide. The only one that has an addition or subtraction pattern is Jessica. Jessica is the only one without an exponent. So an answer would be the employee's pay that increases at a constant rate is Jessica. I know this because Jessica's function is a linear function. You can write that, or you can write that, because Jessica's function is an addition pattern. You can write that as well. So either one of those would be a good answer. A good answer. You guys can still hear me, right? My earbuds are like going all funky. Okay. What about C? C says, which employee would give up the least amount of money by not working on Friday? And then how much is that employee's salary on Friday? So again, that last one, the one about Jessica, we got 1 point for telling me that it was Jessica, and then 1 point for telling me that it was like why it was. This one, I'm only gonna get half and half. So let's look at Friday. Who makes the least amount? Yeah. So Zulema is gonna make the least amount. And then how much is she earning on that day? $3.75. So yeah, compared to Monday, she obviously wouldn't take Monday off, but she would take Friday off because she's not even making $4 that day. And then the last question, one of the employees sees the 60 in their function and thinks they will get the highest total pay for the week. Is that person correct? And then how do you know? So we're looking here. Who makes the most money? Again, we all know it's Zulema, but is she correct? Or like, we know that Zulema is the one with the 60, but is she actually making the most money? No. Who is making the most money for the week? Who made the most money for the week? Verde, yeah. So an answer would be no, that employee is not correct. I know this because Fed is the one with the highest total pay. So, oops. If you're gonna take a screenshot, I would take a screenshot of this page versus the other page because I didn't write these answers down, but the answers are here instead. Give me a thumbs up once you guys are ready. Clap if you guys need more time. If you guys are done, that's it for yesterday's assignment. Please turn it in. If you guys learned anything, you guys can put it here. You guys can say, I learned that. All I need to do is that the t equals 0, and from there just use my pattern. That would be a nice easy thing that you guys learned. Or if you guys did this yesterday and you got something wrong, tell me what you guys got wrong, what your mistake was. Or if you guys got it correctly, just mark it as correct. All right. that's it for my presentation. And then again, mark this as done. I'm going to close this. I'm gonna go back to my agenda and I'm going to click on Friday now. Notice we only have 14 more Zoom days. Awesome. If you're done with this, turn it in as well. I don't know if you still want to stay for the rest, just because I am going to talk about certain little pieces. But if you feel comfortable, you can leave as well. And just don't forget to do the exit ticket once it's available. But I would say just wait and maybe you learn a little bit more, or you know, get some more hints about your final or about your test. So click on Friday. We're gonna do practice test 2, which is F9. Notice there's no homework, but you guys will have to do some of the problems here on this one. You'll have to finish it up. So open up the second quiz or the second practice test. I'll even put it in chat, so you guys can go straight there. There it is in chat. I'm gonna type in doc 5, hit continue. Now, instead of doing questions 1, 2, 3, and 4, I want us to start on the last page and we're going to work our way backwards. Why are we doing that? Because page 1 and 2 are very easy. So if we run out of time, this isn't that big of a deal. I do not want to run out of time again on page 4 and 5. So we're going to start with question 9 and work our way backwards. So I'm going to zoom in again. And then give me a thumbs up once you guys are ready on page 4 of the second practice. Remember, if you're done with the first practice, turn it in. Clap if you guys need more time to get to the second practice. Again, I'm going to put it into chat. That's one more time. All right. So just like last time, we're going to be plugging in the T or 0 into T only, and then figuring out the pattern. Can anyone tell me what the pattern is for Gabriel as I'm doing the work here on the corner? Can anyone figure out what my pattern is going to be by looking at the equation? So remember, 3 to the 0 is always going to give me 1. And then we're going to multiply it by 3 to get 3. So yeah, someone just told me in chat, this is an exponential function, and I see it's a whole number, so I know I'm going to be multiplying. What am I multiplying by? Again, this is a whole number, so I'm going to be multiplying by 3. So anything that I get in this first box, again, this is why I need to see the work for the first box, because that's the one that really, really, really matters. And from here, I can multiply within this box to my pattern and get the rest of it. So 3 times 3 gives me 9. 9 times 3, 27. 27 times 3, 81. And I forget what 81 times 3 is. So let me do my calculator. 81. I'm going to find that x to the y. And then 3. Whoops, I did it. There we go. Equals, oh, times 3. I can do this. I promise I can. 81 times 3, 243. I smart. 243. So don't click on the x to the y. And then this way, you also don't have to click on the x to the y. We're just following a pattern and you don't have to do that. So 243 plus 81 plus 27 plus 9 plus 3 equals 363. 363. Oops. There we go. So thumbs up, we're okay with that one. Clap if something didn't make any sense. Okay. Let's do the next one. Again, we're only showing the work for 0. So 10 times 0 plus 3. 10 times 0 gives me 0 plus 3 gives me 3. So my answer here in this box is going to give me 3. What is my pattern going to be? What is my pattern going to be? Yeah, so we see that the T is the same size as the 10. So that tells me it's either going to be adding or subtracting. Again, this is a positive 10. So then that means that I'm going to be adding 10 to both sides. To adding 10 for my pattern. So 3 plus 10 gives me 13. 13 plus 10, oops, 13, 23. 23 plus 10, 33. 33 plus 10, 34. 30. My dyslexia hit all of a sudden and my brain was like, that's wrong. If you don't know what dyslexia is, it's people putting in numbers or letters backwards. I also have a problem with B's, D's, and P's. So B, D, and P, those I mix up all the time. And I'll like write one of these instead of the proper one. Let's add these up. 3 plus 10 plus 23 plus 33 plus 43 equals 115. 115. Let's do the next one. T becomes 0. Can anyone let me know what the pattern is for that one? This one's super easy. Oh, that's really big. What's my pattern going to be for this one? Yeah. So 4 to the 0 is going to give me 1. That we have to memorize always. So this is a 1. The reason why this one wasn't 1 was because I have a number in the front, so we have to multiply it. And someone already told me in chat, we are going to multiply since we see that it is an exponential function. And what are we multiplying by? We're multiplying by that 4. So what's 1 times 4? 4. 4 times 4, 16. 16 times 4, I forget. 64, 16 times 4, 64. 64 times 4, 256. 256. Add all of that up. 64, 16, 4, 1. Did we go to 1? Yeah. 3, 4, 1. And again, everyone's favorite. We all love this one. Dealing with that decimal right there. What are we going to be doing with our pattern? What's our pattern going to be? Yeah. Divide. So any number to the 0 is still going to give me 1, even though it's a fraction. 70 times 1 gives me 70. So I'm going to put a 70 right here. And like you guys were telling me, it is a dividing. So we are dividing. And what are we dividing by? We're dividing by 2. Why 2? Because that's the number on the bottom. So let's grab our calculator and do 70 divided, I said 70, 70 divided by 2. That's 35. Oops. 35 divided by 2, 17.5. And this is where you should add that 0. If you don't, it'll still mark it as right, but I would like you guys to get into the habit. Here's where the weirdness comes in, is because we have these weird numbers and they're not even, we're going to end up having 3 digits. So when I take this and I divide it by 2, oh, this one's fine still. So 8.7, 8.75, is that it? Yeah. 8.75. This is the one that gives me 3 digits. So it gives me 3. I don't want you guys to have to worry about rounding. So it's fine that you guys leave it like this. Don't worry about it. Now add all of these up. Plus 8.75 plus 17.5 plus 35 plus 70. 135,625. 135.625. And there we go. Let me zoom in so you guys can see those smaller numbers a little bit better. Give me a thumbs up if you guys are good to move on. Clap if you guys need more time. Awesome. All right, what I would suggest is when you guys are taking your test, you guys can see these. So what I would do is I would probably go into your first one, copy the answer, and then click on the T and paste it. The reason why I would do that is your sentence frame is already the same. All you have to do is just change the names and then change the price. Your questions are the same. So which employee this time gets paid the most on Monday? Because it's not Zulema. And you can just put the first letter. That's fine. So which first letter would you guys tell me makes the most on Monday? M, Melanie. So I'm going to change Zulema to Melanie. I'll change this Zulema to Melanie as well. How much does she make? She doesn't make 60, she makes 70. And I'll make the text bigger for you guys. And I would do the same thing for all of these. I would copy and paste this. You can't copy and paste it like that, or else it might mess it up. Or it might just be that I'm pulling it from something else, and it's messing it up. Do you have to change the text and all that stuff, or like what I'm doing? No. I just like doing the different colors so that you guys can see that it's standing out. So which employee pay increases at a constant rate? So who's getting a constant rate? Give me their first letter. Right, Yareli. She's adding by 10. So instead of Jessica, we're going to write Yareli. So Jessica, it's Yareli. And double check and make sure, is it still a linear function? Yes, it is. Or again, you could have said it's an addition pattern. If you put addition pattern, then make sure that it's still addition and not subtraction. For C, again, copy and paste. I hear my son writing about me because it's Mother's Day. So all of his assignments are about me. And it's the same words all the time. My mom is nice. She has kids. She likes to read. I know. I feel bad though, because dads never get like dad cards from school. Like it's always just the moms because dads are like after school gets out. All right, which employee would give up the least amount of money by not working on Friday? Let's make sure that's still going to be Melanie. How much is she giving up? It's 4.375. So 4.375, even though that sounds weird when it comes to money, just leave it like that because I don't want you guys to have to worry. This is just an example. I don't think your test has it like that, where it's a weird number like that, where you have to, it doesn't make sense. But this is just a practice, so that's fine. 4.375. So again, it's Melanie because she only makes $4.37. And then the last one. One of the employees sees the 70 in their function and thinks they will get the highest total pay for the week. Is this person correct? How do you know? So we know it's a no. So looking at her total, it's a no. But who makes more money than she does? That's a great way for us to say like, no, because this person makes more. So who makes more money? Give me their letter. Who makes more money? Gabriel does. Yeah. So, which is different because it used to be the person that was here that made the most. So be careful. The position isn't always the same, except for the one that has the fraction. We always know that that's the one that's going to have most of these answers. So it's Gabriel. So let me zoom out now that you guys have that answer. And instead of Fed, I'm going to write Gabriel. And there you go, guys. Take a screenshot if you guys need it. And then we're going to move on to page 3. Give me a thumbs up if you guys are ready to move on. Clap if you guys need more time. Okay. And again, we're going to work our way down from the bottom up. I know that sounds weird, but again, I want to work on the harder ones first. We definitely have plenty of time. So we'll definitely get through 7 and 8 and a couple of them in question 2, page 2. And then anything that we do not cover, you guys have that for homework and it's due Monday. So again, we're paying attention to our y-intercept and just having the right increasing or decreasing graph. Again, there's technically an invisible one here. And that's going to be our initial value. So we know that that's going to be our point right here. This is a 3. So that means I have times 3 going on, which means my numbers are increasing. So they're going from small to bigger to bigger to bigger to bigger to bigger to bigger. You can cross here. If you want those extra points, or like if you want to get maybe an extra point, 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 3 is 9. So if you want to be able to do a proper graph, it would look like this. Or as long as you guys did something like this, that's fine. If it's going the other direction, that's not okay, because that would tell me that I have a fraction for a 3 instead of a whole number. So thumbs up if we're okay with that, just graphing it. Okay. What is my initial value? That's where we started off our graph. That's going to be our invisible 1. So we're going to type in 1. Again, these next 3 we should have memorized already. I already see that there's no box here. So I'm going to write the word none. Why is it none? Because it's not going to touch our x-axis. Because if I see here, again, I'm going to highlight. I'm going to use a different color. If I highlight the x-axis, it never touches. It's going to be right above it, but it's not going to touch that x-axis. What's my domain going to be? Again, it's a memorizing thing. This one's going to be all real numbers. And then what's our range going to be? Again, our range, there's nothing down here at the bottom. So we could say y is greater than 0. Again, that symbol right here should be pointing at the 0, or you can see that it's going to eat up that y. And tell me, is it increasing or decreasing? Clap if it's increasing. Or thumbs up if it's increasing, clap if it's decreasing. Thumbs up or thumbs down or clap. Thumbs up, yeah, it's increasing. Again, how do we know that? Because we figured that out at the very beginning. We're multiplying by 3, so that means our numbers are getting bigger. All right, I'll let you guys be able to take a picture here in a second, and we'll once we're done with the next question. So what's the first thing that we should do? Our y-intercept is the first point that we should have. So I'm going to go to 0 and count 1, 2, 3, 4, plot my point right there. From here, I see a -2. So that lets me know that the 2 is going to go down and the 3 is going to go to the right. So what I like to do, especially when it comes to graphs like this, and especially when it comes to a test, I like to zoom in as much as I can. And then I know down 2. So I'm going to actually draw a line to go down to. And then I know 3 to the right. So pay attention to where your graphs are lining up. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to draw my point here. And what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to erase these 2 lines. Do I have to draw those lines? No, that's just helping me out. I could technically do that again. Go down 1, 2, and go over 1, 2, 3, and then plot my point again. And again, I'm going to erase those 2 lines. So you guys can always do that and then just erase your lines after that. Last step is to connect your dots. So it doesn't matter where you guys connect your dots. You can then move these around. So once you make it, I can drag it to be in the right spot. I can make it bigger. I can make it smaller. I can move this piece or this piece. It doesn't matter. But there we go. So thumbs up. We all understand how to draw the graph. I would use the line to draw the line. It'll make life easier. Awesome. Okay. To find the X and Y intercepts, to find the Y intercept, I'm gonna go down this way. And notice right here is where it touched the Y axis. Oh. So again, I like to, oops. I like to grab that highlighter and just go down until it hits it. And then I go, okay, what number is that? That's at 4. So I'm gonna type in a 4. Then I do the same thing with my x-axis. I'm gonna grab that x-axis, go all the way until I hit that line. I hit it there. What number is that? That's 5, 6. That's 6. So that's my advice for you guys. If you guys are having problems with X and Y intercepts, is to use that highlighter and kind of see where it touches. Do you have to do that? No, it's just if you guys need that help. Domain and range, again, those are answers that you should have memorized. Should have been all real numbers. Same thing for the next one. All real numbers. And give me a thumbs up if it's increasing, clap if it's decreasing. Is it increasing or decreasing? Decreasing. You didn't even have to draw this. You didn't even have to write the word slope. You could also write the word slope if you guys wanted to, and it's going down. But if you guys look here, that's a negative. Since it's a negative, that lets us know that we're going to be decreasing. If it was a positive slope, then that would tell us that we're increasing. And there you guys go. Give me a thumbs up once you guys are ready. Clap if you guys need more time. All right, since we don't have that much time, look at these 3 or these 4. I can do probably 1 or 2 of these. So we can tell me which one you guys want to do, and then I'll do that one and I'll see if I have time for the next one. 5. I'm getting 5, I'm getting 1s, I'm getting all of them. Okay. So last class said 5 and 6. So let me do 5 and 6 real quick. I think those are going to be the most when it comes, and then I'll give you guys tips on the other ones. So let's look at this. Again, I'm going to highlight them. I spent $2. Spent means that every time that I spend something, I'm subtracting. I'm subtracting what? I'm subtracting $2. On donuts each day. And I started off the school year with $30 gift card. So I started the year with $30. So what's my initial value going to be? I started with $30, so then my initial value is going to be 30. Is this linear or exponential? Well, I'm spending $2. This is subtraction. So then that means I have a linear function since we're dealing with adding and subtracting. So we are not dealing with exponential. We're not dealing with a constant multiplier. Leave these either blank or draw an X or scribble them out. All right, but do not write anything in this box. And then what is our constant rate of change? Well, I'm spending $2, so it should be a -2. If you guys wrote 2, it'll mark it as correct, but I want you guys to mark it as a -2. That is the proper way. And and that's what's gonna get you guys full points. I'll take away half a point if you guys forget that negative though. And what's our equation going to look like? It's gonna be negative 2x plus 30 because this was a positive 30. So thumbs up. Do we feel good about this? Clap if you guys have a question or don't understand something. All right. Let's go on to 5. Again, we can figure out a couple of these. Initial value is when x is 0. So I know this is 4. I can't figure out linear versus exponential until I figure out the pattern. So my numbers are getting bigger. So that means either I can be adding or I can be multiplying. What would I do to 4 to get to 8? Well, I can add 4 or I can multiply by 2. If I add 4 here, this should be 12, not 16. So these do not work. Let's see if I multiply. 8 times 2, 16, yes. 16 times 2, 32, yes. So then that means I have an exponential function. So I can cross out linear, I can cross out rate of change. So notice that difference. I knew that I was getting bigger, so I do adding or multiplying. So we need to figure that out. So try one, then try the other. So what's my constant multiplier? It's gonna be 2. If we were dividing by 2, then we would put 1/2. But we're multiplying by 2. And I want to show you guys how to write this as by typing. So what should this look like? It should have my initial value. Let me change my color. So my initial value first, you can either put the star. I don't really like the star. I like parentheses better. My constant multiplier. And you have 2 options. You can either do the caret and then the x, or you can just draw the x instead. I would probably just draw the x versus having to deal with this. And then I'll do 4 as well real quick. Again, we need to figure out the pattern. We see that it's going from bigger to smaller. And we see that it's a curve. So we know obviously right away it's going to be exponential. It's not linear. And it's not constant rate of change. Initial value is at 4. So I'm going to have 4. So without doing anything, you guys should at least be able to do these two. And you need to find out what your multiplier is. We know it's going to be a fraction since our numbers are getting smaller. So I need to figure out what this number on the bottom is going to be. So I have 4. Here's a corner. This is 8. Here's a corner right here. And this is 16. So 16, 8, 4. So 4 times what gives me 8? It's multiplying by 2. 8 times 2 gives me a 16. So then my constant multiplier would be 2. It's not 2. It shouldn't be. Oh, yeah, it is. Because we're multiplying everything by 2. Yeah, my multiplier is 2 because I'm multiplying everything by 2. Just kidding. And then my equation is 4, 2, and then x. This is wrong. It should be 1/2. All right, guys, that's it. It should be 1/2. I wrote it wrong. It should be 1/2 because you're going from 16 to 8 to 4. So you're dividing by 2. So that should be it. But other than that, bye, guys. Have a good weekend. Don't forget to finish this up and then turn it in. Bye, guys. But yeah, it should
Bye,
be
Doc.
1/2.
Have a good weekend.
Bye. You too.